Which martial art is right for me? So this isn't so much a self-defense question as it is, excuse me, a massive question with a lot of scope. So first things first, why are you training? What are you training for? Are you training to defend yourself and have a fight? Are you training for a match fight where you wish to compete quite regularly? Are you doing it for health benefits? Are you doing it for the exercise? Are you doing it just to get out of the house and be in an environment where you can make new friends, where you know it's going to be respectable and you're not going to get picked on? There's so many different reasons why people train. I've known people, and I don't have a problem with any of this, by the way, as long as you're honest with why you're doing it. I've known people that literally stay in a martial art for 3 to 5 years, get the black belt, and go, done now, and then they go off to another martial art and do it. Granted, they usually have black belts in 4 or 5 different styles of karate because it's easier for them to pick up. But again, they're getting out of the house, they're getting exercise, they're meeting new people, they're not breaking any laws, they're not hurting anybody. Why be down about what they're doing? I've got no problem with that. It's when they start to say, "Oh, I'm a stone cold killer, me. I can totally beat people up." No, you can't. So be completely honest with why you're training, with what your end goal is. Don't make the mistake of saying, "Well, I'm doing it for fitness, but it's nice to know that I can defend myself as well," because you probably can't. Is the truth. Um, Figure out: do you prefer the standing striking arts or do you prefer the grappling arts? Yeah. What I would suggest is have a look at if you prefer stand-up stuff or the grappling. Go to, again, a video sharing website. YouTube is good, but you've also got stuff like Dailymotion. And just put in the search bar striking martial arts and have a look at what's on offer. Then put grappling martial arts, have a look at what's on offer. 9 times out of 10, it will fall in the category of striking martial arts. You're going to be looking at stuff like karate, Thai boxing, boxing. Grappling, you're going to be looking at judo, the wrestling styles, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, sambo. Go from there. Which do you like the look of? Which do you see yourself having more fun doing? If you're going for a scrap because you want to fight, it's then a case of combat sport fighting or self-defense fighting, which again are two different things. Have a look into it, investigate it. Wikipedia, if you put martial arts in Wikipedia, it will come up with a list of striking arts and grappling arts, and you can go to the various different individual pages, figure out what is best for you. What I would say is, when you are doing this, be honest with yourself of why you're doing it. So if you're not doing it to have a scrap, you don't need to get into the ones that are going to test you constantly with just the character you need to just get in through the door. Where, like, I openly admit, I've had times when I used to go to the old judo club. On my walk there, I was completely okay with if I get there and the door is closed and there's a sign saying, "Sorry guys, there's a flood in the building. It's cancelled tonight." I would have been very, very happy with that indeed. Never was that lucky, but that's what lets you know it's real. You go to the boxing club and you think, "Oh, please don't let us have to do anything. Please, just let this be a theory day. Can we have this be a theory day where we just talk about what it should be?" No, you fucking can't because it's a boxing club, you fucking idiot. But that's when you know that this shit is real. Be aware though that that's very different from going there and going, "I just don't like the atmosphere there. I don't like the attitude of people who are there. I don't like the atmosphere. I don't like what they consider to be funny. I don't like their narrow-mindedness in terms of this is the only thing you'll ever need." And I've experienced that with clubs, but I've experienced openness and sharing, and I've experienced very close-mindedness with clubs within the same style. So it's not just this particular martial art is like this, it's the individual clubs run by the individual people. So be completely honest with yourself with why you're training, what you hope to get out of the training. Look into, do you want the striking art or the grappling art? Look into then which style of striking and grappling art. Do you want the striking art that is very much the discipline and the heritage and the mythology, the mystique and everything that comes with the lineage of it? You're probably going to end up going into a karate club. Are you looking for something that's very energetic and really bouncy? Like, there's a reason why most children get put into taekwondo classes, because it burns up energy. I wouldn't necessarily say taekwondo was good for having a real fight, but taekwondo is the absolute best thing in the world if you're after competing in taekwondo. If you're going to go in that and you're looking at karate, well, I want this, I want that, I want something that will work because I work with people at quite close range and they're violent people, but I'm going to go with Karate Ryu. Goju Ryu is probably for you because it's quite close in and it's all knees to the balls, eyes to the eye, things to the eyes, sorry, and chops to the throat. I am completely stripping everything down to its core essence here. If you're a Goju guy, I don't mean any disrespect. If you're a Taekwondo guy, I don't mean any disrespect. If you are feeling disrespect and offense from these comments, then pop something in the comment box and I'll reply to you. But I'm pretty much telling you the truth about your arts here. If it's a long-range karate style such as Shotokan, they've got a really wide base. It's very powerfully delivered, but you've got to really emphasize, you've got to really practice it to get good at it. You've got to practice it to get good at all of them. If you want a more fluid thing that's more reality based and that you can compete in, look at Thai boxing. Thai boxing is fucking awesome. It's why it's one of the styles we think from heavily in our bud. Our kicks, our knees, and our elbows come from Thai boxing because it fucking works. But again, it's a style that's absolutely going to fucking ask of you every single time you go. There will not be an easy Thai boxing session, but you will come away feeling like $1 million every time you go because you'll be like, fucking great. It's the natural endorphins released into your body to give you a natural high, so you feel great about yourself. And it's the fact that, fuck, I lived through it, yay! If you're into the grappling arts, be aware and be upfront with people when you go there and say, look, I'm really just doing it for the art. I don't have any desire to compete. BJJ clubs especially tend to put an emphasis on competing at BJJ, but they also will be very accommodating if you go, look, I'm really just doing it for the art. It's a hobby for me. I've got no desire to compete. You're never going to get asked to compete. At least you should get asked to compete. The BJJ clubs that I know of, Gaz Topple out of Dysart, Primal MMA in Dysart, North Wales, he is so accommodating with, if you want to do it for the art, you do it for the art. If you want to do it to compete, you can compete, but you're never going to get pressured to do something. You're never going to get pressured into competing, which is what every club should be. But again, be completely honest with yourself. If you're doing the style because you want to compete, then you've got to start showing up to fighters only classes. You can't, you're not going to get professional results from recreational hours. So be completely honest with yourself about why you want to take up a martial art. Look into if it's stand-up striking or if it's the grappling that you're interested in, and then look at who's the best of those in the area that you can get to. Because a lot of the times, unfortunately, you kind of have to just go with what's on offer in your area. Unless you live in a really big city where you've got lots of different stuff on offer, then of course, after that, because in Britain it's slightly different in America, but in Britain we tend not to have massive clubs that run every day of the week. Like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu clubs and MMA clubs will run several days a week, but judo it's once a week and it's these times and that's all it is. Boxing, you might be lucky if you get 2 or 3 times a week, but it's at these specific times. So you've got to then fit that in around everything else you're doing. So it might not be a case that you get your number one choice. It might be what you can fit in around other commitments you've already got. So that's all the stuff that you're going to need to take into account when choosing your martial art. Not, of course, taking into account how much kit am I going to have to buy. So, like, I've never, ever stayed with a club that has forced me to buy their branded kit. So, any club that says, well, you've got to wear our gi with our patches all over, you can only show up using our kit bag. You can't use your own backpack to bring your stuff in. You've got to use our kit bag that's got it all. No, fuck you. I'm not a billboard. I'm not paying you for the privilege of advertising your club. I have never, by the way, in our bud, we don't have a uniform. It's literally shorts and t-shirt. That's what you show up to get in the lessons with. I've never asked anybody to buy any of the branded merchandise. The t-shirts are available. The mugs are available. I've never asked anybody to buy them. I've never pushed that on somebody. The backpack that I use to take my judo gi to a judo lesson has no bearing on my ability to practice judo. So just be aware of that as well, because that's turned me off clubs more than anything else has been. I'm not going to advertise your club. And there's been some clubs that I've heard of that said you must show up in the gi. And it's like, right, I'm not walking across town to walking across town back from your 1 hour session wearing the fucking gi. That's just stupid and it's asking for trouble. If we take into good self-defense being avoidance, why would I walk through town dressed in martial arts club where I know some fucking idiot's gonna go, think you are, do you? It's fucking moronic. Unless you've got a venue that does not allow changing, in terms of there's no toilets or changing rooms, well, what if I'm comfortable standing between 2 cars and getting changed there? What if it's absolutely fucking pissing it down? I've got to walk through town in my gi, so you want me on your mats wearing a dirty, wet gi? Think it fucking through. But anyway, I've gone way over the time that I wanted to do with this, but there's so many odds and ends and little idiosyncrasies with picking the right martial art for you. It's not a case of flip a coin and get into the nearest club. You've got to look into it properly. Please do. If you do, please let me know. I really mean this. Let me know if you start a martial art. Let me know what you do. I'm not going to criticize it. I'm not going to say, oh, you don't want to do that. But let me know about your martial arts journey. Make a video of it and put it up and let others know about it. Constantly let us know we're updated here and keep us knowing what you're doing with it, because I like that. I like hearing about people starting something and getting what they're getting out of it. Anyway, until next time.